Back to Bits, Crits, and Halfwits, filmed in front of a live studio audience. The audience is my dog.
Yay! That's the only audience we need.
Yeah.
Let's go. The only people.
Welcome to all of our wonderful players. Elliot, played by...
It's me, Isaac.
Tarak, played by...
Hello, it's me, Terminian Link VT.
Newsin, played by...
Hello, everyone. It's me, the Sky T.
And Lulin, played by...
It's me, Brembo.
I don't know why I did that with my hands. Anyways, we're moving right along.
Also, we forgot part of the live studio audience is all the thousands of stuffed animals that are on the floor in my office.
Today is brought to
They
you
won't
by...
clap, but they're here.
Today is brought to you by Grape Octopus.
No.
Stunning.
Today's stream brought to you by theskytgot.com. Go buy your plush cow.
Do it.
I'm working on a new Bits, Crits, and Halfwits design. We need Karak included.
Sky, all I'm gonna say is if you want to sponsor the stream anytime, I'll just slap the logo right up on there like it's not already there.
I just start sponsoring all my friends' streams.
Let's go.
That'd be lit.
I'd start streaming.
I was like, yeah.
This guy
Listen. That would push me to actually give a shit about streaming if it meant I could support my friend.
Do you know how motivated? I know this because I've done it one time. Do you know how motivated I am by a commission-based job? I worked in high school, well, just out of high school. I had a friend call me and go, hey, I have this great part-time job for you. Showed up, it was Cutco knives.
Oh, boy.
So I started working for him, because I was like, this plan, because, you know, the basic premise of Cutco knives is they hire a kid, he sells to his friends and family, he runs out of prospects, he quits, they hire a new kid. Mm-hmm. That's how they sell their knives. Well, they had this really sweet incentive thing, which was like, sell X amount, get this. Sell X amount, get this. And I was like, okay, well, if I sell 10,000, I win within 10 days. I'm one of like 3 people in the country who's done that. I sold $14,000 worth of knives in 6 days, chat. 6 days.
Jeez.
I went to a dinner and got a letter of recommendation from the CEO of that fucking company. The tab at the end of dinner was $15,000.
Oh my god.
It's the richest I've ever felt in my life. It was great. And then I went home and I got my $3,400 paycheck and I didn't go back because that was all the money I needed for the summer.
Honestly?
And they were like...
Get that back.
And not to mention because of their rewards program, because if you don't know, you have to buy the stuff that you use to show people. It's real MLM, do you want this skin ointment?
Yeah.
Type deal. But they had a deal that if you sold $10,000, you got a knife set. So guess who has a Cutco knife set in his fucking kitchen right now that is worth more than everything else in it?
There you go.
Anyways. Sky, if you want to sponsor the stream, I will work on commission, is the basis of what that point was getting across.
I'll have to have a business meeting with my business partner, tech husband, so...
Understandable.
He'll have to approve my advertising budget.
Understandable.
Sky T starts a VTuber agency.
Please, no. I can barely handle my own shit.
That's why you hire people.
I don't need to handle other people's shit.
Alright, well, on to the session. At the end of last session, they had just finished talking to Brennan and... I didn't forget his name. Yes, I did. Bathos.
Bathos.
Oh, okay.
I
was like, which one are you trying to remember? Because we were at Brave Apple's Brewery.
Here's what fucked me up there, is they're both B names, and I thought, no, I didn't give both of them B names. I'm not that patternistic.
Well, Brave Apple is the last name.
Brave Apple, Bathos, and Brennan are all B names.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god, we're the B team. If we fail, they'll go.
Isn't that a little
we're the
bit,
B
like,
team because
high
the A
for
team
us?
failed.
I feel like we're like A team happened, then the B team happened. We're like maybe C, D team.
Team Karak, let's go.
But while the party was there, all of you were talking to Bathos and Brennan. Elliot was somewhere else. Elliot, we pick up with you as Elliot exits the gates of Olfast and walks through the refugee camp before disappearing into the woods.
Was he in Oldfast? I think he just left the World Tree, right?
Now, oh, did you not go into Olfast with them? Were you not there for any of that?
I wasn't there for any of that.
Oh, then you never make it into Oldfast. At some point as the group is going along, you just kind of plant your feet and watch them all walk through the refugee camp.
And I think so he'll probably make a little bit of progress towards Oldfast. Because, there's some woods between him and the city. But before he's out of the woods, I think he'll find a nice large oak to sort of sit under. Assuming there are oaks in these here woods.
All right. You sit down on you kind of find a stump that somebody's very obviously used as a stool before. It's almost kind of soft on the top. That's leaned right up against a much larger oak that seems to be growing out of the other half of the stump. Almost like a chair with a backboard on it.
Oh, how convenient. He'll pull out his nice quail pen and his book and start writing. And he'll probably write for, a couple hours maybe.
As you're writing, what are you writing in particular?
He's sort of writing in his book. He's writing more of the tenets that he wants to see out of the world. Elliot is thinking a lot about what sort of the world should look like.
As you're writing those tenets, give me a wisdom saving throw. Okay. As you're writing, you begin to hear whispers, almost like you heard within the sword in your ears, whispering, almost guiding the tenets themselves. And that was a 15. That is not going to cut it.
Oof.
Okay.
As you kind of almost black out while you're writing these tenets. And when you snap back to, the moon is in the sky above you. And you're sitting on this stump in the dark, and written in your notes is lines upon lines of names.
Interesting. Do I recognize any of them?
You see that the one at the top is very scratched, almost in a quick handwriting, and it says Thorn.
Okay. Interesting. I think a little shaken from this, he'll probably close up his notes and start heading towards Oldfast.
Alright. As you head towards Oldfast, we'll pick up with the other group at the end of your little conversation. As presumably we all realize Elliot wasn't there.
I believe that conversation ended with me going, fuck!
It did, yeah. They all kind of... everybody's just kind of looking at you, Newton, as you sit there with your head in your hands.
Okay. Every time I talk about this potential future with you, Brennan, it gets clearer in that bad, it's going to come to pass kind of way. So I feel like I need to stop talking about all of it.
He's just kind of looking at you, and you can't really see his expression because of the mask, but you can feel that he's just dumbfounded. Like, has no idea what to say here.
I mean, I was kind of warned that this would happen, which is why I haven't been telling anybody about it.
So, how often have they come true?
Well, the one that almost came true, I intervened on. The other ones... she kind of, like, glances at Lulin and at Lyra, and is like, all the other ones, the direction that we've been going has changed so drastically that I don't think that they can happen now. But I had a vision from the fight that we were just in that I ended up intercepting. But all of them, I don't know. That one was a lot more cut and dry, I guess. It was clearer what could be done to prevent it in the moment. This is a bit more open-ended, I guess, because I don't really know when it's going to happen or what I'm saying that's causing it to be more assuredly, you know, it's the future. Not supposed to see it in the first place most of the time, I think.
Do you ever see anything that's just black, like Pharaoh did?
No, because I think Pharaoh intentionally looked into the future. I'm not really, like, looking for anything. Things just kind of appear to me.
What happens if you do go looking?
Depends on what I'm looking at. I mean, I have gone looking once when Astraleon was kind of trying to show me how to control it or guide it. But the one time I did that, I happened to be looking at a future with Roran in it, and he kind of grabbed me before I could do anything about it.
I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah, it's, not really something I expected anybody to be able to help me with, honestly. It's kind of, something I gotta figure out on my own, I think. And like I said, usually not something I really, like, tell people about most of the time, because, you know, it seems like trying to do anything ahead of, like, split moment decisions tends to have less than desirable outcomes.
Is there anything we can do about it?
About the visions or about your future?
I meant the visions, but I'll take the other one.
But, I mean, something about me telling you about it is making you more certain to end up in that. So, I don't know, maybe we make you forget about it and it goes better, but that seems like kind of a weird way to go about that.
Nobody's messing with my memory.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd like that one.
If you believe it, it'll come true. Lulin pipes up. So don't believe it.
And
everybody has the ability to change today and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
As like Lulin like picks up like a bar peanut and like flicks it at Nuzin.
Look, I'm doing my best here. I'm kind of put in a weird position right now, alright?
We appreciate your insight, Newson. I'm sorry if, that just couldn't let go of it. I'm sorry.
But I mean, as far as the visions go, I can keep trying to work with Astraleon to control it, or be able to look more closely, but I haven't had it very long, so, and I don't know how long it takes to hone the skill, really, so...
Like everything takes practice. Luna flicks another peanut at Newson.
I'm trying, okay?
As Newsom says that and that peanut kind of hits, the door opens as Elliot, after walking his way through the whole camp looking for everybody, heard that from inside. As Elliot, you enter the tavern.
Well, look
Elliot.
what the Knoll dragged in.
Hello.
You and the Knolls.
I mean, it's a turn of phrase. I don't know what you want me to say.
Nothing more.
Well, you two seem real friendly.
No,
They always are.
friendly disagreements. What are we talking about?
A lot of shit.
Cool. Okay.
I know
As he
we were
sort of,
just
like,
having a
leans back.
drink. I still need to finish off this one, so
What are you doing,
Luna cheers you and
What are you doing, Elliot?
He's sort of leaning back and pulling out his notebook. I can keep notes if you'd like.
Well, you kind of missed, like, the whole...
Brennan's
There's,
just kind of staring at you, Elliot. Since when do you take notes?
Recently.
And the college isn't even open anymore.
oh, that's
Well,
a shame. I wanted to know what college was like. Lyra seemed very excited about it.
It's true.
She would.
Oh well, just gives us more reason to solve everything that's going on, right?
Speaking of solving, I need to figure out where we're going to get more fresh water for the camp. I'll leave you all to figure it out and come up with a plan. Don't kill each other.
Wasn't planning on it.
Huh?
Haven't
Was
yet.
Was that on the table the whole time? Have I been in danger?
Luna's gonna pipe up. I actually know how to create water.
How much can you make?
I can create up to 10 gallons of clean water per cast.
How many times can you cast it?
4,
Because the help would be greatly
9,
appreciated.
12, 15, total of 16 spell slots.
Alright, that's roughly
160
1600.
gallons.
1,660 gallons. It'll help. Come see me in the morning. But there's 4,000 people outside the walls.
I can also use some of my magic to help, like, mass produce, like, produce and crops and things. To help boost them, like, growth. And I also have this, and Lulin holds out, like, a giant, like, pumpkin seed.
What the hell is that?
It's a pumpkin seed. It's going to go bigger than this entire block. Or bigger than this, tavern.
I'll get you with some of the furbolgs in the morning then.
The giants were.
I do worry about the magical qualities of it.
I mean,
How much do we cast while we're here?
Well, this area, at least, we should be okay from the plague. Because minotaurs aren't really... Most of us aren't very magical.
I mean,
They've been able to maintain the quarantine area pretty well. And they've been testing everybody who comes into the city with spell scrolls, so...
And before we begin, we'll take the necessary precautions before I get started tomorrow.
We test everybody as they come through the quarantine zone, not just the city. We've got plenty of room here.
Sorry. You know.
I mean, that's no reason to get complacent, though. Unless, if anything, because we can all cast... Well, most of us can cast magic. We should be even more careful for those who can't. No reason to put other people in danger.
Well,
Is it spread by contact?
yes. it's a radius around people who cast magic when they have it.
So
Seems to be.
not context, more like
Whereas
airborne?
magical influence.
magic born?
Yeah, it seemed I guess like the weave,
Well, I worry about-
you know, the
Weave
magic
born?
in the world. Yeah.
Though my
But,
magic
I mean,
is pretty
what I'm
centered on me. Is Lyra in more danger? I mean, she reaches out with her magic quite far, doesn't she?
I think it's immediate radius. We were talking about. Oh, by the way, Nam's not dead.
Oh, that's
He thinks
surprising.
we're dead, though. So
That's all right. I think I was always kind of a little dead to him.
but yeah, apparently he's
Really?
in Koboldia.
I thought you and Nam were like that.
Elliot has a complex
were.
relationship with everybody, except for Lyra.
Slowly started to realize that.
Yeah.
Just because Elliot thinks I'm a bad cook doesn't mean we have a bad.
I said
I didn't say
complex.
you were a bad cook.
I said complex. Okay.
On the other side of the room, you guys just hear the door swing shut as Brennan leaves. Realizing he's not going to get out of this, he just Irish goodbye, and it seems like Bathos is quick behind him. Like Bathos gets caught with his hand almost to the door as it swings shut.
Wait, Bathos.
Yeah, kid, what's up? What can I do for
you?
you?
And we're a little different than just regular casters. I mean, we're inherently magical, aren't we?
Yeah, it's not great if we catch it.
Good to know.
I mean, you won't. You'll be in your wolf pretty much until it either runs its course and kills you, or we figure out some way to stop it.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was expecting. I think it's by mostly magical means I control it. So,
How is this affecting the gods?
The magic?
I mean, well,
The
the
plague?
magic plague, because if it affects inherently magical beings as well, what happens to all the new gods and their followers? They're all connected in some way. I would hate to think that. Oh, that's not
well,
a good
yeah.
thought at all.
There weren't any gods here before,
And now they are.
so I guess they ought to be real careful. Well, no, your white woman's here somewhere.
She is?
Yeah, we met her. I told you that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, we
oh,
met the
okay. I thought
white
you
lady.
meant you had already met her, like since
Not
before.
here in the world. Sorry.
I was going
Well,
I've been feeling her presence. the entire
Bathos,
time.
you hear the door just swing again as Bathos ducks out.
I still need to. I need to find her before we. How many days?
Can you
do we
not
have
just
here
like
again?
ask for her and she shows up? Because that's what I do with Astra Leone.
No, I have to go find. When you're a goddess of the hunt, you're not like being like just
Are you
showing up
always
whenever
on the
people
hunt?
ask you. That's just asking for something to try
Have
and
you
hurt
ever
you.
tried?
We've talked about my memory, right?
Well, yeah, but like, you could try now. What does it hurt?
I'm worried that amongst all these people, it would probably be a bit of a scare. How is it like for you? Like whenever you do the thing with Astraleon.
I kind of like walk off because I wasn't I don't actually know if you guys can see him when I ask him to show up, and I didn't want to look like I was talking to myself if that was the case, so I just kind of like go somewhere and I'm like, hey, you there? And he's like, yeah, I'm here, and then we have a conversation.
Oh, like meditation. Oh, I might try and talk with her tomorrow morning during the sunrise. Find a nice place. See if I can talk to her then.
Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna be doing it every day. Might as well put some more utility to it.
Well, we'll be staying at my house for as long as we're here. So meditation starts at 0500.
Wonderful. When does the sun get up? here. I'm still new here. I don't know if the sun cycles are the same or if
You hear a response as Brave Apple walks out with another keg for Lulin. Son wakes up after, but he'll have you trained up. He'll be used to it.
wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, we'll see if you're saying that tomorrow morning as he lumbers back into the back of the tavern.
I'm a lot of nice people here, Lulin.
For context, Karak,
Yeah?
I was a lieutenant. I was not a lieutenant. I was teaching the new recruits.
Give Karak the context. Make them do push-ups.
Oh, it's just like basic. It's just like huntsman training. Okay, I can get behind that. It'll be nice to get back into a routine.
Yeah, I realized, it's always kind of implied, but I guess we never said it explicitly, that Lulin trained me.
Well, I mean, if he trained you, then obviously he's quite the teacher.
I'd say so.
Lulu like smiles and just puts his head behind his head.
There we go. Well, I guess my morning's planned for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the meditation's the good part. You can pretend that you're meditating and actually sleep. It's the physical part that gets rough.
You get
Why would you
put another peanut to your head. But Lulu's using power on this one.
Why would you pretend to meditate though?
I would argue that the impact of a peanut is bludgeoning damage, and therefore Newton feels almost nothing.
Yes, but it is a 22.
Wait. What would I do? I'm gonna dodge this.
Dex.
I guess a dex, yeah.
Yeah.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. So, okay. No, not good enough.
You feel the impact of the peanut. It's more annoying than it is painful.
Mm-hmm. Look, it's not my fault that you wake us up in the ass crack of the morning.
You want no ass crack at the morning. 5 a.m. is lenient.
I wanted an
What I
extra
went
hour
through.
of sleep, okay, and I got it.
I could be doing what my teacher did to me and wake up at midnight.
Ugh.
Oh, you would have to get to bed. You'd have to go to sleep at 2 in the afternoon to get 8 hours.
Bold we went to sleep anyway.
Your teacher
fair.
would also whip you.
Lulu gives him a 1,000-yard stare.
Jeez.
Well, I look forward to it, Lulin.
All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to discuss, or do we want to rest and go to the morning?
While we're heading out, Lulin, Brave Apple wanted to talk to Lulin.
Oh, yes. Does everybody else head to Lulin's house?
I assume someone's going to help Karak get there.
Yes, I can lead the way.
Mhm.
All right. So while you all are on your way, to Lulin's house, Lulin, you go into the back to talk to Brave Apple. As you get into the back, he's stacking kegs and he kind of looks over at you. What do you want, boy?
You said you wanted to talk?
I did. You know how the matter works on these things.
I'm aware.
Pick a time and a place, boy.
Lulin sits down on a chair, gets an arm up.
He sits down and he looks at you, Lulin. No.
No?
We have to have ourselves a good old-fashioned bullfight. Somewhere public.
Alright.
You know, gotta prove you're worthy. And I haven't been a part of one since I married her mother. As he, turns, and you hear his spine pop all the way up. So, what do you say? Good old-fashioned. We'll follow the old ways.
I couldn't ask it any other way.
Remember, even though it's tradition, he kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. I do approve, so it is all in good fun.
Thank you.
No problem. As he kind of like stands back up. Now, you're either going to stack kegs or get out. You're going to need your rest if you're going to stand half a chance.
Well, maybe a quarter, honestly.
That's true. You remember the rules. I'll show you in the morning for all the wee tykes around the camp.
We got a few, we got a few new people in the city. It'll be a fun time.
Well, you know how many? It's been a year. There's already little kiddies on their feet running around.
Lilin, like, widens his eyes. Oh my goodness.
Next generation of warriors right there. Just make sure they're trained right.
I think after all this, I'll still have my job.
If anybody respects you after the beating you get tomorrow, probably.
Lilin cackles. I made you something.
No, what's that?
And Lilin gives him an exact copy of like his cookbook, and there's like hundreds of recipes.
He kind of like takes it and he looks
details.
Kind of takes it and he looks at it, his face crunches a bit. What? You telling me my cooking's not good, boy?
No, cooking's very good.
No, it doesn't really seem like that's what you're saying.
Lilin pulls out his cookbook.
Roll me an insight check.
12.
Even with a 12, it's very clear he's fucking with you.
Yeah. Lilin like pulls out his cookbook and it's like half the size of it. I'm giving you my cookbook. All of my notes, all of the little recipes, everything that I've learned. From Feywild to
he's kind of like flipping through it. Where am I going to get a wyvern scale that never stops heating?
Lilin like rummages through his bag.
You pull out like the clay sheath that Elliot made. That is still almost glowing.
Yeah, Lilin puts it down.
Well, how are you gonna cook then?
The good old-fashioned way.
Wonder if that's any. I'll try this out. I've had some new things I've been thinking of trying.
Lulin's also, he doesn't have, even though he doesn't have the bag with him, Lulin's still gonna pull out, some dragon meat.
Alright, what's that? What's that you got there?
Don't
smell like cow.
You eat cow?
He left. But I also have that question. Is Brave Apple a cannibal?
You've heard of long pork. Now get ready for long beef.
Brave Apple has tried many a cuisine.
It's dragon.
Where'd you get dragon?
Lulin's like, well...
How long's it been in that bag, boy? Roll me a constitution save.
The filthiest of 20s.
You're barely holding it together.
Jesus.
This meat has been aging in this bag for over a year.
Hey, if it gets to a certain point, it goes back to being good again. That's how aged meat works. If it's old
why did you
enough.
put your dragon meat in your bag and not in the bag of holding that preserves it?
That's what you'd think.
Yeah.
Lulin needed his own
Lulin's gonna take it away. Never mind.
Alright.
I forgot it was a year. Time went a little too fast for us. Sticks it back in his bag.
I was about to say, if you think I'm going to eat something that easy so you have a leg up when I'm all sick tomorrow.
I need some kind of advantage. Lulu just
Get out of here with your cheap tricks, boy. I have work to do.
Lulu starts walking away. Yeah, get out of here with the cheap ale.
Ah, you call my ale cheap one more time, boy. I'm gonna put you out the pasture.
Love you, Brave Apple.
We'll see you after tomorrow.
Lulu closes the door. And then, at the front of the door, Lulu's just gonna, like, make, like, a riddly sign. Battle, 10 a.m. sharp. Lulin versus Brave Apple.
And you...
As I'm walking home, Lulun's gonna, like, make, like, a couple more. Put them on a couple other taverns.
So as the other three of you, as you enter the home, as you enter Lulin's house, you see there is a figure almost perched on one of the cabinets, like knees up, arms wrapped around the knees, looking at you and fiddling with something in its hands.
Hello? Are you supposed to be here?
Are we supposed to be anywhere? Are you supposed to be here? Are you supposed to be somewhere else?
No, I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be here.
Why did Astara Leone choose you?
Why do people choose anybody?
Question with the question. I like it, but why?
Why answer a question with a question?
Why you? What do you possess that makes you special?
Apparently I have an interesting story.
No, Newsom, you don't have an interesting story. You make interesting stories.
That is a very good distinction.
That is an interesting distinction.
Interesting or not normally enough to make it, so why?
Who are you?
Who am I? Who am I not? I am Velgrim. I am the curiosity. Why do you ask?
Well, because you came here and asked me a bunch of questions, so I feel like I have the right to at least know who you are before I answer all your questions.
Is that what I do? I ask?
You did ask, yeah.
So far, anyway.
So why? As it's messing with this thing in its hands, anybody can give me an Arcana check to see what he's messing with.
Why not? Let's go.
I can't wait to see this. Yeah, it wasn't horrible.
Lulin, are you... Oh, Lulin's not there, that's right.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't roll.
Newson, you would know enough by looking at this to know that it's some sort of magical machine. Karak and Elliot, both of you see that it's a magical machine, but from what you can make out on the runes on it, whenever it gets completed, it is going to teleport him away. And it almost looks like it's a puzzle that he's just doing while absent-mindedly talking to you.
Well, you're only giving yourself a certain amount of time to be here. That's strange.
Why solve a puzzle to teleport?
Yeah.
Why not? A puzzle's a question. Questions need answered. Do you like to give answers?
Not only that,
I like
puzzles
to
are
ask
fun.
questions more.
Then why not ask?
I did. You gave an answer.
And you have nothing else to ask again?
Well, I have more answers than questions. Are you here to pick a side?
Why do people pick sides?
Why wouldn't you pick a side?
Why would I pick yours?
Is it not the end of times to decide?
Of
The fate of the world? Is it not important to you?
Of this place, of this time, but there will be more times with more questions, don't you think?
True, but
Are
if
there
you got
always more
no...
times and more questions?
What did you say?
If Roaring...
I didn't catch what Elliot said.
Oh, I said, are there always more times with more questions? If Roaring has his way, will there be anything left to question?
If Roran has his way, there will be different times with different questions. Didn't you know that?
Have you answered all the questions for this time, though?
Yeah, will you be able to live with the fact that you'll never have answers to the questions from now?
It is not
It'll
for
be a
me to
different-
decide what answers I get and which ones I don't. Don't you
It'll
think
be a
it's
different
even out
time.
of the realm of possibility for a god to know everything?
Why ask the questions if you don't want the answers?
Because they need to be asked anyways.
Why do you feel like they need to be asked?
Because what happens to a people who ask no questions?
They walk
Complacency?
blindly into their demise.
Smize.
And why would I want them to walk to their demise? I've watched them walk before. Do you think I want to do it again?
Well, then I guess you have your answer. You wouldn't want Roran to destroy everything.
But what happens if Roran
How-
brings back what we failed to protect?
How will there be more questions if Roaring wins?
Is it more important to regain what you lost instead of protecting what you have?
I am not the one who decides. I'm the one who asks. Those of you... Okay, so Karak and Elliot, he's about 3/4 of the way done with this teleporter. Like, you're beginning to watch pieces lock into place.
Which side are you on?
I haven't chosen a side. Why would I?
That's fair.
Well, in answer to your original question, I think Astraleon chose me because he feels guilty about what happened with Roran.
Now, why would a god feel guilty? He seems like genuinely... Like, this isn't a question he's asking to fuck with you guys. He is genuinely perplexed by this question.
Because the suffering that can be caused by your all's interference is still real.
The
Not,
gods are but a single thing, but
not what
us
I,
as humans
not what I
embody
meant by
everything
my,
of a god.
not what I meant by my question, but don't you think Astara Leone, as the god of inspiration, would find his best stories in tragedy?
I think a good story involves tragedy, but it doesn't end with tragedy.
Ah, but is a good story always a true story?
Does it matter?
Does it? As you watch one of the last two pieces click into place on this teleporter.
Is a good story about the content or about the receiver's interpretation? With no one to receive a story, is it a good story?
Ah. But if a story is never written because it's not good, is it worth receiving? And the last piece clicks into place, and he's just gone. Like, for a moment, the entire room goes dead silent. You watch a little portal open up from this thing, and he's just gone as if he was never there.
Okay, good. My brain was starting to hurt with some of that. I
I
was
wonder what side he'll pick. As Elliot sort of heads back to the back corner where he had previously dug his room.
Goddamn dog boy.
Oh my. Ugh. That was a lot of questions all at once.
The real question for me is, why are we the determining factor in what side gets picked? Why not, like, ask those questions to Astraleon?
Astraleon.
He doesn't write the stories.
He
You
simply
do.
tells them.
I guess. But the initial question was why he picked me. I guess the other gods don't feel like they get an honest answer.
Do you think your story will be different?
I hope so. I don't want to end up like Roran. Jeez.
Yeah.
So I guess if we don't stop Roran, technically I would end up kind of in his situation with the world getting destroyed and everything. Yeah, I hadn't really considered that when I got into this situation. Technically, I didn't know that was a possibility when I got into this situation. So that's something I'll have to contemplate late into the night. I'm sure that'll keep me up for several days.
Do what I do. Throw it on the pile. Leave it for tomorrow.
I'm not super good at that.
I know.
It's
It's kind
something-
of.
Is there anything that's reached tomorrow on your list?
I'm not sure who you're asking, and also I had a very hard time hearing you there.
Sorry. Speaking of Karak, is there anything on your list that has reached that fated tomorrow?
A few things, but not the important ones. That's what keeps me going. I can only see
Yeah,
tomorrow's
okay.
sunrise tomorrow, but then there's another one after that. Just keeps me
Sure,
going.
But we're here now with answers.
I'll be real. We had a lot of questions asked to me. I know we're still in that energy of like asking questions right now, but I just don't have it in me, Elliot. It's been a real long day. I learned a lot about you. It's been a day of learning. I think now is the time to go to bed for me anyway. I gotta get up for training tomorrow. Perhaps tomorrow. And Karak's
Sounds
going to
good.
go and find a place, maybe like a guest bedroom or something. I don't know.
Lulin has a big, nice house.
It's so
Yeah.
for context. Lulin's family is rich.
Yeah.
But Lulin procured most of the things and built the house himself.
Yeah.
And for a Minotaur, having a 2-story house isn't really. It's very rare.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a decently sized 2-story house. So there is plenty of rooms upstairs. However, I'm pretty sure last time we all just slept in the living room.
I like
We
to.
stayed at my house one night, which, also for context, Newson's house is like a bungalow, like a studio
it's-
apartment
yeah, it's like-
bungalow. It's
yeah.
one room.
1 room, dirt floors.
Yeah.
I like to think of Lulin's house as a villa on a vineyard, but instead of
Yes.
vines, it's
Yeah.
a training ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, instead of a vineyard, there's a garden and
Yeah.
a training ground.
It's rustic and beautiful,
All right.
where Newson's is utilitarian.
Here's what I need to know. Is anybody taking any watches?
Well, after that, Newson's probably gonna stay up for a while after everyone goes to bed, just purely out of like, I gotta think about my life.
Lulin's also gonna stay up. He's gonna be outside training once he comes back and talks to everybody.
Elliot's gonna get up at the last watch to try to catch Karak before he heads out for sunrise.
Karak's just sleeping the night away.
Honestly, Bud needs it at this point.
He's had
Yeah.
a big day. We're all a little, at least somewhat comfortable here.
The world's bigger. I met all these new people. A couple of them hate me. I'm pretty sure I offended one of them. I need to hug them later because I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Like, there's a lot of things that happened today.
God.
I forget. Who do you think you need to hug?
I need to hug
Brennan?
Brennan because I
Brennan?
tried to shake their hand and they just looked at it and just were just so done with me being there. They're like, I don't know what you're trying to do, and it's like,
Karak's gonna
Right,
go in
but-
for a hug, and Brennan's gonna grab him by the lapel, headbutt him, and throw him into the ground.
Rock's like, that's the greeting!
Now you're gonna start headbutting everybody we meet.
Hello! Greetings!
God. This is bidet all over again.
So, Karak, as you drift off to sleep, and Elliot, you eventually follow. Newson, you're inside the house. I'm gonna assume in the kitchen. I think last time we said it has like a combined living room kitchen, right?
Yeah, the whole bottom is like an open floor.
And you're watching Lulin through the back window. Kind of just... are you doing anything else?
I think she will probably be like, it's time for the evening catch up to the heir, implying she's speaking to Astro Leone, as she's just like, but like not even looking for him, just like continuing to look out the window.
As you say that, you hear behind you, is that what we're calling it now, darling?
I mean, you got a wittier name for it?
No. I'm just it's so unfortunate that I don't.
Well, I mean, you are the creative one in this dynamic duo, so...
Oh, you would believe so, but you've done some fairly creative things yourself. What is it you wanted to talk about, though?
I mean, I don't know if you saw what happened when we got to the house, but, there was a weird guy here asking a lot of questions pertaining to you, picking sides.
Ah, yes, Velgrim. He did say he was going to be dropping by.
Yeah.
I didn't think he wanted to talk to all of you, just one of you in particular, though.
Well, he talked to the group of us, but he was asking me a lot of questions about why you chose me.
Yes, well, many of the gods are.
Well, you didn't really choose me. I asked you. I mean, I guess you could have said no.
Yes, but that's not the choice they're talking about. They're not talking about the choice to give you visions. They're talking about the choice to continue supporting you against another perpetual.
Oh. Got it. So it's sort of you and Roran are drawing the lines between the gods?
Oh, no. I'm not drawing the lines with Roran, I've just picked my side already. Another one's doing that.
Oh.
But, like I said, as of your friend's venture, I can't speak to that.
Okay. So, we're probably going to be getting visited by a lot of people. And I guess it's in our best interest to try and get as many people on our side as possible.
No, some of the lines have already been drawn. Some are refusing to intercede on anyone's behalf. Others have already made up their minds.
Okay.
I mean,
So what does that mean?
For you, not much. For me, I'll keep politicking my way through the other gods, trying to woo them to our side.
So are they going to intervene the way that Roran sort of involves in the world of the mortals, or is it more of a...
Well, there's a rule to this game.
Uh-huh.
Only the sides that declare the war can fight it, at least openly. They'll be the only two active on your plane. The rest of us will influence in other ways. But direct action is not something we can take.
Got it. Like how you and I are talking about this in the first place.
Exactly. I know in other parts, ignivores sowing seeds of regret and doubt and decisions.
For or against us?
It will all depend how it plays out in the long run.
Okay.
But for now, it seems like he's on our side, doing his
Okay.
best to slow the slaughter that's happening on the western coast of this land.
Huh. Okay. You mean the Ganassi civil war that's happening?
Indeed. He's
Huh.
doing his best to slow it down, draw it out.
Okay. So that's something we need to intervene in?
Not immediately, but eventually he'll get tired of waiting.
Yeah.
He always regrets making no action at all the most.
I guess that's a fair opinion to have, a feeling to have. I wouldn't want to feel like I did nothing, so.
But he's keeping them from killing each other. He knows in the long run, whichever side he ends up on is going to need allies in this world that can actually fight with them.
Yeah. That's true.
Ignivor likes to be shown that he's making the right decision.
So we gotta do our best to come out on top, eh?
No, not on top. Well, you could, I suppose, but at that point, if you didn't, it wouldn't be worth choosing sides anymore.
Well, yeah. We have to seem like we're the winning side, eh?
Show him that you can choose the side without regret, and I'm sure he'll join you. Even though he is regret himself.
Yeah, that is odd.
Outside in the garden, Lulin. What are you doing exactly?
So I imagine, at least what I've imagined, is the battle tomorrow is just going to be like, just two dudes duking it out. Like, no weapons, no armor.
It's more like sumo
good old-
wrestling, but yes.
Yeah, just good old fisticuffs. And so, Lulin has kind of like, I would say kind of like Jungle Gym-esque. That has like padding around him, so he's doing like shadow boxing. You know, he's not hitting the same pole twice in a row. So he's being a lot like agile, trying to not kick dirt from his feet, staying light on his hooves and powerful blows and
So as
weaving and dodging.
as you're punching away on it, you kind of get more and more into this like meditative stance as you punch it, and then suddenly you hit it once and you realize that it's not just you being fully enthralled by it, but it legitimately makes no sound as you hit the target.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of tilt your head upwards, you see a small figure perched on top of the statue fiddling with something looking down at you, with almost a hooked kind of nose. You're the one I was looking for, not your friends, right?
Lulin like steps out of the cage, does a bow. Well, if you were looking for me, welcome to my home.
Yes, you're the one. You're the one who's asking the questions of the trees.
Yes.
Why do you ask?
Curiosity. I'm one with nature.
But are you? Are you now? Will you ever be?
I would love to be.
Is that a question worth asking?
I think so.
Then will you ask it? That's the real question, isn't it? To become truly one with nature, to forget everything around you, to become one with the things that connects the trees. Is that something you'll ask? Is it really?
I don't know if it's something that I can ask, but something I can prove.
Interesting. Better than a question of proof. Well, we will see how you do, won't we?
Why speak and answer when maybe one day I can show you?
No, but I don't want you to show me. I want the answers. Don't you understand?
Some answers come in time.
Ugh, time. Fickle thing, isn't it?
It is.
Not enough time. Never enough time. They said it would be so easy, didn't they? Didn't they say it would be so easy? They said 6 weeks, plenty of time to fight a war.
No. War shouldn't happen in the first place.
No, they did. They did. They told us 6 weeks. That's what we had, and then the war starts. Don't you remember?
Lulu, like, cocks his head. 6 weeks. From when?
You were all there, weren't you? You were in the tower. You were walking in the tower. I saw you. You were there, didn't I?
Can you do a history check?
At disadvantage.
Yeah. 8.
You have no idea what the fuck this guy's talking about. This is clearly some sort of insane creature.
Yeah. If I was there, other things were on my mind, but
Like what?
I have
More questions?
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember what was going on that day.
And you don't want to know?
That was yesterday. Yesterday already happened.
Yeah. So you don't want to ask questions.
Not about yesterday.
Yeah. But yesterday's... Don't you understand, mortals? Don't you understand? As he, like, starts clicking pieces into place rapidly. Don't you understand? What happened yesterday affects what happens tomorrow.
No.
You'll understand eventually, won't you? And he disappears. And as sound kind of gradually fades back in, you hear a one-sided conversation coming from the kitchen.
I think Lulin takes a drink from his water skin, stretches, looks inside. Does he see another figure?
Nope.
Okay. I'm gonna do a perception check also at disadvantage because it's going through like walls. Yeah, no.
Oh, you don't see anything.
I was on the more so like I don't hear anything either. It's just muffled sounds.
You just hear Newson talking.
Yeah.
It's like Newson staring absent-mindedly, kind of like up at the sky, muttering and occasionally looking like over her shoulder, I'd say.
Yeah. And then now Lulin's gonna like prop up like a sandbag over like a tree or something, or like a heavy branch, and they just work on like single power strikes, trying to again maybe try and mimic that heavy blows with little impact or to little sound. I'm gonna roll an athletics with that. I want to reroll that.
Crit stick, my boy.
Oh
Yeah, it's crit. The universe said crit stick, bitch!
I'm gonna make it hurt more because I told you not to reroll.
Oh.
Naughty.
So, Lulin, you punch this sack. As you feel the sack, you watch the sack fall a split second before you hit it. As you drive your fist into this tree and watch a crack shoot up and out the branches of the tree.
Lulu just like watches the crack in like real time and watches it explode. Fuck. That's the whole reason I built my fucking house here.
Now.
Lulu just starts punching the fucking stump.
Oh, it hasn't fallen over yet.
Lulu's gonna
You're just watching the cracks get worse and worse as they spread throughout the tree.
yeah. So like Lulu like gets like an axe, he just starts going at the fucking tree before it makes any more damage.
Newson, inside of Star Leone, walks over to the window and just goes, I do think he's gone mad.
Something's definitely upset him. He loves that fucking tree. Why is he... Is that an axe? What the fuck is happening?
Perhaps he has a lot on his mind.
Yeah, I guess we all do.
Yes, but what did you need me for tonight, darling?
Well, I had to tell everybody about everything.
Were we keeping it a secret? I told all of my friends, darling.
Okay, well, I didn't tell my friends because I was worried about them not liking it, considering we haven't had a lot of god interaction, and it was kind of a mixed bag.
Well, none of those gods have been me.
Well, I guess that's fair. You know, I don't have a rebuttal to that. We haven't ever interacted with you before. But we were kind of like in the Fey realm for a year because of you, so I don't think they're like super stoked about that.
Well, pardon me, the story needed an interlude.
A year? Shit got bad here while we were gone.
He doesn't respond to that one.
Yeah. So everyone was kind of pushing for me to figure out the vision thing and hone the skill more, I guess.
No, you don't need me for that, darling. You already know how to touch your future.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about looking back at... So, I had a vision, and the more I talked about it, the more solidified it got. But, if I look deeper into that one, do you think that maybe I could get more clarity on, like, why talking about it made it more certain?
I mean, perhaps you will, but perhaps you'll find things you didn't want to.
I mean, it's already something I didn't want to see, but the big thing is that Roran was kind of in it.
Are you willing to take the risk of running into him again? I cannot interfere anymore.
I know. I mean, part of me feels like we just need to, like, have a conversation, you know? He's a fucking god of hope. I just don't understand why... We can't just... Why now that he's in a world where he could have so many people believing in him, why he'd want to throw it away for a history he doesn't even really remember.
Some would argue that he's created more hope in this world than it had before. Him being one of them.
Yeah, but he wants to destroy it all.
It will be a tinge worse than that, darling. He doesn't want to destroy it all. He wants to rewrite it all.
I guess, yeah.
Replacing people's minds with those that he's lost. Reshaping the world.
But why does he have such a connection to all of that if he doesn't remember it?
Because it was their hope that turned him into a god. Deep down, some vestige of it still screams out for his help.
Maybe we need this realm to just scream louder then.
You hear Lulin scream. You hear Lulin yell in the background. God fucking damn it, stupid fucking tree! What the fuck? Urgh.
I would be careful when you say things like that, Newton. Some would argue that this world's screaming enough.
Well, maybe we're just not saying the right thing then.
Perhaps not. I cannot tell you more than that, for I do not know.
Okay. Well. I feel like it's worth a shot. I hope it's worth a shot.
And I wish you the best of luck, darling, but like I said, this time you will have to do it yourself.
Yeah. Okay. She kind of like she stretches and sort of stands up from the window.
When you finish your stretch and kind of open your eyes, he's gone.
Yeah. I think she's going to try and find like a private spot and be like, well, I gotta put all those years of not meditating to good use right now, and like settle down and try and focus on that vision.
All right, everybody deafen up. Or
Oh,
don't
boy.
if Sky doesn't want you to.
I'm fine with either way.
It's up to you. They can all stay. I'll be aware of the consequences of your actions. As they all deafen, Isaac's like, I'm here for this. Damn it.
Nope, none of them want that responsibility.
All right.
Oh boy.
You focus in on that image as you watch it replay. And eventually it's to the point where everything kind of freezes. And it's almost like you're watching a moment frozen in time as Brennan jumps up towards a much larger figure. And you can smell the acrid smoke of burning oil and trees. And it's almost like, it's like you're there. You can walk around, you can move, you can look at it from different angles. But you feel yourself almost like your mind is afraid of the trees and what you know is coming from within them.
I think she will kind of like knowing the direction that Roran is meant to come from, sort of focus her vision on like where it appears that Mazebreaker like came from, trying to get like a larger picture of who all is here and like the bigger scene of what was brought with him, I guess.
As you walk around, you begin to see almost phantom-like imagery of the moments leading up to this. You see Mazebreaker flanked by 5 or 6 figures walk out from within the tree as Brennan stands there with the bastions behind him. You watch as they begin to talk and then see, still in the phantoms, as something hits Brennan. And the bastions roar to life in his defense. And then you watch the rest of the battle in these phantoms, and none of this is particularly clear, like it's patchy and in between, as the two groups tear each other apart, bringing them up to the moment you see now.
Can I see where the thing that hits Brennan comes from?
You don't even see the thing that hits Brennan. You can only tell from the way his body moves back that something hits him.
That something hits him. Okay. Can I tell anything about Brennan's like body language and like when I look at him kind of staring down Mazebreaker, is there anything I can glean?
If anything, in the moments before he gets hit, he seems relaxed.
Okay. Do all parties sort of look relaxed?
Yeah, none of them look super confrontational.
Okay.
As you're watching, give me a history check at advantage.
Okay. Advantage. That is an 18.
This will be how we see how well you can watch the phantoms.
Yeah.
You see in the vision, just before Brennan's hit, it's not a perceptible thing. You don't see anything in particular, but one of the figures in Mazebreaker's party moves ever so slightly.
Mm-hmm. Does it look to me kind of like what I see for when like Elliot or Lyra cast magic?
So you can't really tell that because
Okay.
it's more like looking
It's
at a
hazy.
silhouette.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Okay.
But as you watch the figure, as the fight kind of plays out, you see that this figure doesn't fight the bastions. It disappears back over one of the roots and into the woods.
Okay. So it's somebody showed up to cause the fight and then left. And maybe me talking about it is going to cause Brennan to let his guard down in that moment, and that's what causes this all to happen. She's kind of like pacing between the two groups and sort of like looking at Brennan's silhouette and like the direction that other silhouette like runs off in. And it's just like, I think she's just like, it's almost like her own version of like Lyra's mind palace, I guess, where she's just like contemplating what's going on, but not nearly as cozy or customizable.
As you're watching all of this, as you're kind of looking back over towards the tree line, at the very start of the fight, you see a distant flash in the trees.
Okay. Just like a bright light.
Almost like for a fraction of a second, the area was lit up. Almost like a spell went off. Like a fireball.
Can I move in that direction? Like, how much...
You can walk freely.
Oh, okay. So, like, I think she'll kind of, like, inch toward the tree line, like, with arms, like, outspread, sort of waving them, like you do in, like, a hall of mirrors. Like, I don't know if this direction is real, and, like, waving arms around a little bit before realizing, like, oh, the world is tangible and continuous. And she'll kind of, like, move in that direction, like, into the tree line to see what's going on elsewhere.
As you head into the tree line and you head towards the splash, almost as if the moment is paused around you. You head towards the tree line, you come across a clearing, and in the clearing, as the flash goes off, you see Lyra's mom holding out a hand with her other hand wrapped around a spell book, and a figure completely bathed in this light.
Can I see the figure now?
No, it's like within this light.
Okay, like, okay.
Like it took a direct hit from this. Like you are seeing...
I see. Just like an inverse silhouette now.
Yes. Do you want to stay paused or go forward?
No, I think I want to see I want to, like, unpause the situation, like, let it play out to see what's going on, like, take a step back from it so we can watch the whole thing.
So as you hit play on this, almost in an instant, and the reason it felt like you didn't see the light for more than a fraction of a second, is you watch this light burst out from this figure, and then you watch darkness consume it and pull it back in. And Roran is standing in the center of the clearing. With just the area around him just burnt to cinders.
So it's Roran who is interfering.
Well, no, he's still in the clearing with Lyra's mom. He's not back at the other place.
No, but, like, he's the one that interfered in the fight.
Maybe.
As far as I can tell, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as it continues to play out, you see him walk forward with his hands out almost in, like, a kind gesture. Like, not looking particularly menacing or threatening. As he walks towards Lyra's mom. And then you watch as she holds out the book and he reaches out for it, and right as she goes to cast a spell, Like, you can almost feel the magic bubbling. You just watch as he almost shifts and is just holding her by the throat before snapping her neck the same way he did Delira, and just dropping her body to the ground and taking the book.
Shit.
And then he looks up almost past you, but for a split second, you catch his eyes, and he knew you were watching. As he walks past you towards the battlefield, keeping with the timeline.
I think she kind of like hesitates as he passes by, and then turns towards him and goes, "Hey, we need to talk."
You watch as he kind of stops, as you watch, almost as if he turns, almost like it's disrupting the future. You watch as cracks of shadow begin spreading out away from him until he's standing with you again in that dark room. What?
Why are you doing this?
Because
We don't have to be enemies.
You and I don't have to.
None of us have to be.
Well, some of us have to. That's set in history now. He hasn't told you.
Astra Leon?
No. The other player in the game.
The other perpetual that you're fighting. Why would they tell us anything?
They're not a perpetual yet. And they walk with you every day.
Are you...
Do I need to be blunt about it? Your friend Elliot's making a play for godhood.
That's what happened in the tower?
That's the choice he made. When he grabbed onto much more power than a mortal should hold. So that's what he's going to become, if he kills me.
But only if he kills you?
Well, he has to defeat me. But the only way you're going to stop me from what I'm doing is to kill me.
But why? Why are you trying to rewrite this world? Are the people here, is their hope not worth it to you?
The
Not
people
worthy enough?
The people here, the people on every one of these planes, every decision that's been made from the beginning was made for you. Whether it was by the gods or by Velkin, every decision that could be made has been made. Every chance of redeeming yourselves from war after war fought against each other for no other reason than you could. All the hope that I have heard is from anguished mothers and terrified sons as they die for no other reason than your own pride. That's not real hope. That is begging for mercy.
But why choose to tear it all down and start over? How do you know that a world that you could conceptualize, that you could create all on your own would be any better?
Because it already was.
You haven't been in that world for thousands of years.
And that tempers the memory how?
You've clearly suffered a lot. your judgment is biased by how much you've struggled in this world, but that doesn't make the world that you came from better than this one. It just makes it the past.
Well, there's always trying. And if I fail, so be it. We both know gods make mistakes, Newson.
You don't have to be one of the gods that makes a mistake, though. You can be better than the ones that created you, that created me.
I don't want to be better than them. I want them gone. And since they're all choosing your friend's side, it'll be easy. I get to bring back my world and destroy my enemies in one fell sweep.
I wish it didn't have to be that way. I feel bad for you. And I am sorry for everything that you had to experience. And you don't have to accept that. But no one deserves to go through what you went through. And
Newson, you have a sudden feeling that you have made a mistake.
uh-oh.
Something that you said was wrong. As you watch this almost kind of goading, like, lecturing face changes to one of pure rage. You're sorry for what I've been through? Then go through it. And he snaps his fingers, and I'm going to need you to make 6 saving throws, 1 in each class.
Okay.
I'm gonna need strength, dex, con, wisdom, intelligence, and charisma from you.
Okay. Saving throw or ability check? Was a saving, right?
Saving throw.
Okay.
And we're gonna say they're at disadvantage.
At disadvantage,
Because
okay.
you did not see this coming, and you are wholly out of your element.
Yep. Alright, so starting with strength at disadvantage, that's an 11. Dexterity, saving, disadvantage, that's 10. Con, saving, disadvantage, 22.
I'm watching all of their faces as this is happening.
Intelligence, saving, 4. Wisdom, saving, 5. Charisma, saving, 9.
Okay, we're gonna bring them all back for this, because this next part's gonna be really cool.
Okie dokie. Where's the thumbs up?
Do the thumbs up. I need
Thumbs
to get,
down. Thumbs down, guys.
I need to go get some water, so can you keep
Okay.
emoting at all of them?
We're just missing Isaac now.
There goes the green screen.
R.I.P. green screen.
Oh no, we're getting thumbs down?
We're getting thumbs down.
No! Something awful happened! There's no way... We got...
I know we can hear it. But
Quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack.
Like, even in the worst of times we had thumbs up. What do you mean thumbs down?
I disabled the soundboard a long time ago, but
Yeah.
I just see all the little ducks floating up my screen, and I know what
That's
it
all you
means.
really need. Well, I mean, PT should have his soundboard turned down too, honestly.
Where's the fun in that?
I have mine at like 2%, so I can hear it, but it doesn't blare in my ears.
I ask again, where be the fun in that?
It's not
well,
fun. It's
Okay.
sanity.
So everyone
Yes.
everyone else in the house, I need to know exactly where you are at this current moment.
Elliot is in his room.
Okay?
And it is Elliot's room.
Is that on the second? That's in your little hole, right?
That's the hole
Yeah,
in
it's
the
under the
backyard.
stairs.
All right, Karak, where are you?
I'm in the first guest bedroom that Karak could find.
Okay, so ground floor or second level, just choose one now.
Why not? Second level. Let's have some fun.
All right, Lulin, you're out back.
I'll back. Yeah, whenever we come back in, we'll probably clean up, come inside.
Awesome. That means we're gonna go in the order that this hits you. So, Nuzin, as you're sitting there, as you're in the house, the rest of you, two of you are in bed, Lulin, you're outside, you all hear Nuzin begin to scream. At the top of her lungs, just bellowing, as this almost miasma seeps through the house. And Elliot, it hits you first as you snap awake, and the very first thing you feel is being trapped in a void for thousands of years. Like, you feel the time pass as you're trying to push through it. Karak, it hits you next, and you feel the cuts of 1,000 different scars cut and healed again. And you feel a complete absence of your gods. And Lulin, it hits you as you're walking in the door, and you just feel loss to your very core. Everything you love has just been ripped away from you. And Nuzin, you are going through all of this and more, as thousands of memories are surging through your mind. You feel pieces of who you are as Nuzin breaking away. So I'm gonna roll the first damage number for this.
Oh, goody. Oh, goody.
And your first save
I think
was an 11.
we had a long rest
So
between now and the fight, didn't we?
We
I never
did.
long rested.
Yes,
Okay.
We did.
Let's
You
just
should
do that
probably
really
do
quickly.
that.
2 days.
Because I had 43 hit points.
As this rips through you, and what's your strength?
18.
Okay, so +4.
Yeah, +4.
And the first wave through deals 22 psychic damage to you. As you feel the
barbarian
hope lost of watching your friends be killed on a plane you barely know.
You said 22.
Mhm.
All right.
As you're watching and staggering, your vision shifts and you're rising up with these people as you charge across a bridge, as you see a storm of arrows falling towards you. You got a 10 on your dex save. What's your dex?
+1.
Alright, you're gonna take another 15 psychic damage from that.
Oakley dokley.
As these images keep going, the next step, your arrows are being pulled out of you as you're watching this bright light begin to emanate, and you feel power coursing through you. And what's your con?
My con is +3, but I also got a 22 on that one.
Which is
that
why
save.
I'm doubling it for the effect. You're gonna take 9 psychic damage from that one.
Okie dokie.
And these last ones are gonna hurt.
Point.
So, while those 3 damages were going off, what are the rest of you doing?
I mean, Elliot's dashing towards the kitchen. The bellows of pain from Nuzin, I would expect.
Yeah, Lulin would already be holding Nuzin because he was walking into the door.
Awesome, good to know we're fighting it. Everybody give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, yo. Let me open. Where is it? There it is.
Elliot.
Everybody gets an additional +1 to saving throws if they're within 15 feet of me.
They are not. This is right after it went off.
Okay.
Alright.
I was
would
the
be in
closest to
15
you.
feet of him, wouldn't I? 'Cause, I ran into the kitchen.
Oh, that's true. You would be.
Yeah.
Great. Doesn't
Karak
matter.
would be
So Lulin and
dealing on
Elliot,
mine.
you failed, so you're going to take this damage. Karak, you're taking half.
Okay.
Karak, you are going to be the only one able to move while this is
Ooh.
happening.
Well then.
You're all going to take... Everybody but Karak's going to take 18 psychic damage. Karak, you're going to take 9.
All right. Gotta do quick math real quick.
Newsen, the next thing you feel... What was the next one? Wisdom?
No, next one was intelligence. Which
so
was a
you
4.
feel power surging through you as you reach down and you sever this lich's grasp on the plane and begin to watch it collapse as the magic breaks it apart. It's going to be 32 psychic damage.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch as this plane continues to break, and then suddenly there's nothing. And you feel that bearing down, grinding at your own memories like a river through a chasm, as it chips pieces away and erodes the edges. You're gonna take another 39 points of psychic damage.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing you feel is 1,000 years of your power being taken from you, as all you can hear are the screams of those begging for mercy because your power is being used against them. And knowing that you cannot help them because you are the cause. And this is going to be the biggest one. You're going to take 52 psychic damage.
I'm down.
Alright, Karak, you are running down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And as you do, you see Lulin and Elliot kind of holding their heads, trying to fight their way forward. As Newsen, kind of in the back of the kitchen, is just sitting there with black pooling out of her eyes and dripping down her face as these waves of miasma, the screaming is long since stopped, as these waves of miasma are pulsing off of her, filling your head with these visions that you're fighting your way through.
Okay, well, so I can see the entire group more or less there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I'm going to attempt to use Fey Presence to snap them out of it. Just using that charisma.
Alright. I don't have a save I can give, so I'm going to make both of them make that save.
Yep. It's a DC 18.
Am I
nuggies.
making...
Charisma?
No, you're not
Oh.
making any save,
Okay,
guy.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I was like, I don't think...
I don't think Karak's that strong.
Well, I'm making one kind
What
of save,
is Elliot
potentially.
making?
It's a DC 18 Wisdom save. Oh, but you're half alpha, so you can't be...
Yeah, he can't be
I can't be
charmed.
put to sleep.
He can
I
be
have
charmed and
advantage
frightened.
against being
Ah.
charmed.
Ah, that's what it is.
I have advantage against it though. Is this
Advantage.
Actually,
Yeah,
It is...
actually,
well, you would succeed anyways, so it doesn't matter.
It is to become either charmed or frightened.
This is actually one of those situations where you wanted to fail, unfortunately.
Yeah.
so with Aura of Courage, me and friendly creatures within 10 feet of me can't be frightened while unconscious.
So you're gonna
I'm
have to
going-
go with charmed then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to snap you out of it, be like I can't have you on the ground. Get up! You're better than this! I've
Alright.
seen you do better!
Lulin, give me... So, Lulin, you fail and you're snapped out of it as you see Newsen, like, straining, veins bulging, like, straining against whatever is happening before going limp as you begin to get yourself up. Newsen, roll me a death saving throw.
Okie dokie. I think this goes automatically to you.
It does.
Just normal.
Yep. Alright.
Did not go straight to PT.
We
Oh.
all saw it.
That's
Oh,
fine.
well.
Karak,
Oh no!
Mhm.
what are you doing?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Karak has anything that could help with this. It's like the Fey Presence was all I had planned for now, so I'm just gonna like look at Lulin and be like, do something please! I've done what I can do for now. I don't know what's going on.
Lulin?
Lula's gonna like. I imagine like he was like picked up to like one of his like on like one knee, holding his head, and once he sees Newton like fall limp, he's gonna like kind of like how like a goalie in hockey kind of like scooch round on their knee. He just like does that across the floorboards, embraces her, and just pumps in like all 50 of his lay on hands, and like the biggest fucking hug.
So as Lulin pulses its energy into you, Newson, your eyes snap open as the miasma, the pulsing, everything fades except for the black streaked fur running down Newson's face and chest. As it all just stops.
Oh, that was not fun. Oh god.
It's okay. We got you. We got you. We're here.
Oh god.
We got you.
Thanks. Oh,
Lulin like grabs like a couple of rags from like the countertop and just like starts like wiping off of your face. Pouring like a little bit of like water out of his canteen onto your face, wiping like the miasma goop off. It's okay.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. That didn't go great. That was not. That did not go good. She's like, I think she's kind of like leaned, like hunched forward on the floor, like deep breathing. And
it's okay. Lula's gonna put like one hand behind your head, like kind of like making you like make eye contact with him, and he's gonna bring out his other hand, go up, 1, 2, 3, down, up, 1, 2, 3, down.
Elliot, you, after feeling this, you know whose magic this was. You just have something innately within you knows whose magic caused this.
Did you reach out to him?
I went after everything we talked about earlier, and everyone was like, Newson, look closer at your visions, figure things out. I went back into the vision that I had today, and he was there. And, I did not like the conversation that we had, so, you know. Oh.
Yeah. Alright. I knew you all wouldn't be off limits, I guess.
Yeah, well... There's if that vision comes to pass, there's a lot of people that won't be off limits from that one.
You know, I can't imagine that you're wrong. I imagine that we have to do something.
Yeah, the problem is the reason I went to look at that vision earlier, Elliot, you weren't there, but when I had a vision of Brennan fighting Mazebreaker, and both of them dying, and when I talked about it, it became more clear and more solidified. And so I went in to see why that was happening, and I realized
Where was it?
At the World Tree nearby.
You know how far ahead in the future it is?
No. It was... We were talking about the fact that Mazebreaker was in the world. Brennan felt like he might be a threat because he would go back to Velkin, but I don't think that's the case. And then when I was talking to Brennan, I had this vision of not just them, a bunch of people fighting at the World Tree, him with the Bastions, and Mazebreaker killed, and he was the one that did it, but then he also died because of it. Then when I went into the vision, and I was able to look around a little bit more, it's kind of hazy when I look at it, but I can kind of move in the space, and it looked to me like somebody on Mazebreaker's side intentionally caused the fight. Like, they were having a conversation and everybody looked okay, and then something hit Brennan, which caused the Bastions to start the fight. And then they left, and I followed that shadow to a clearing where Lyra's mom attacked it. But when she attacked...
Brief moment of pause, out of character, just to be sure. That shadow went the opposite direction from where the fight with Roran was happening. Those two were not...
Oh, those two
were not connected.
Oh, I thought those were connected. Okay, well, I saw a flash of light.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, that was... I thought I was following that shadow in that moment. Okay.
No.
I saw the shadow leave the fight, and then I noticed a flash of light in a clearing nearby, which I followed to Lyra's mother attacking Roran, and Roran subsequently killing her. So in this series of events, if it happens, it seems like one or both of them will die. And when he noticed me looking in, we had a conversation.
And him interfering with this magic, your patron's magic, that's not against the rules?
I don't think so. Astral Leone warned me once we were out of the Feywild that he wouldn't be able to help because it's a power that he kind of has from Astral Leone as well. So it's not really interference, I guess, so much as using a gift that he already has.
Well, I guess you'll just have to avoid him in the visions.
Yeah, I'll do my best. What's weird is, you know, he was kind of antagonizing me, and I wasn't really rising to the bait. And then I said I felt bad for him for everything that happened, and he didn't seem to like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, as horrible as he is now, it's true. I mean, the things that he went through to end up how he is are horrific, as I just experienced, because he basically flooded my mind with everything that he went through.
No set of experiences entitles anyone to do what he has done.
I don't think that it entitles him to do it, but it doesn't mean that I can't feel bad for him for having experienced it. But he certainly doesn't want that from anybody, I guess. As I have experienced. But I mean, I wouldn't want to end up in the homicidal end of what's going on with him, but everything that I saw is honestly something that I do. Up until he ended up as a god because he was trying to save people that he cared about. He was trying to save his entire plane of existence. He was doing what we're doing. And it was that...
He became who he is because he forgot about the sacrifice he made. He forgot what that sacrifice meant. He became something different. It started one way and it ended a completely different way. Just because you have noble roots doesn't mean that the ends justify anything.
No, I'm not saying that the ends justify. I'm not saying that the choice to try and erase our world. He was monologuing about, how our world is bad. The people here don't have real hope. Everyone, because we keep fighting each other. And I was like, how do you know your world's gonna be any different? And he was like, I don't, but gods make mistakes. And I was like, do you want to be like the gods that make mistakes? And he said, I don't care. It was really very dramatic. But, like, I mean... I wish it didn't have to be this way, It...
Yeah, well... I can't imagine anyone wants it to be this way.
Yeah.
We can't change what led us up to this moment, but we can change how we react now.
Well, we're kind of stuck with the fight.
Yeah, it seems to be. Is there any indication of how far in the future this is?
PT, is there any way for me to tell?
Not from you.
All right, no.
Lulin, roll me a history check.
When Brennan
17.
left, did he say when he would be going over there?
Lulin, you vaguely remember the creature in the barn repeating the phrase 6 weeks until the war starts.
There was not to interject and interrupt the conversation. While I was training out there, a little creature, a man, fidgeting with like a box or something.
Fidgeting with a box?
Maybe it's connected, but he kept saying in a 6 weeks time a war will start. 6 weeks, 6 weeks. And I asked from when, and there was no clear direction or day. So,
with the 17, I'll remind you out of character that the moment he was talking about when he was muttering 6 weeks was you all standing in the tower.
Okay. So, at the tower. Okay. So, Loon's like, we prepare in half the time.
Yeah. Okay.
But the problem was whenever I warned Brennan about it, it just became more clear. Like, more assured that it was going to happen. So if we prepare, we're setting ourselves up for that future.
Is it only when you talk about it, or only when you talk to Brennan about it?
When's the one time that you've been able to contradict your visions?
When you know they exist. And Lulu's like looking at News and you've seen what happened.
Take action. When you do something.
Yeah.
That seems to be the catalyst.
Yeah.
So, we'll do something. One thing is for certain, no matter what happens, to Brennan or otherwise, that mask cannot end up in his hands.
Yeah, and that's definitely...
What he would do with that magic.
I think...
It's magical.
In the vision, he took Lyra's mother's spellbook, didn't he?
Hmm?
He's after something from both of them. Because in the vision, when I saw him kill Lyra's mom, he also took her spellbook. But in the first iteration of the vision where I saw Brennan die, the mask fell off.
If I remember correctly, isn't Lyra's mom from the hedge? Wasn't she removed from the city because of forbidden magic? I could be misremembering, but I think something along the lines like that. It's been like 8 months.
What do you think, Lyra?
Yeah, Lyra, what do you think?
You're just being so quiet over there.
Lumped over in the corner.
She slept through the whole thing.
Yeah.
She never.
She was redecorating her room in her mind. Therefore unaffected.
Wow.
Oh god, the darkest ending of this campaign for Lyra isn't if I kill Lyra, it's if I kill Newson. She lives the rest of her life catatonic, living in her head with Newson's memory.
Inventing the Dewey
least-
Decimal System.
At least I'm safe inside my mind.
Just
Fucked up, PT.
am I wrong, though? That's the darkest ending.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Roran told her he wouldn't kill her.
So you think we have 6 weeks, Lulin? Is Brandon going to the tree?
He said 6 weeks from when we were at the tower. He said 6 weeks, and then mentioned when we were at the tower.
So less
So
than
what
that.
it's
tower?
been
It's going to be less.
the Obsidian Tower, I'm assuming.
Yes. It's going to be less
Oh.
than 6 weeks, but we're not certain, so we prepare in half the time.
Of course.
Sounds like a plan.
I guess I can keep looking in and seeing if anything we do changes anything. And just
I
avoid...
would avoid that.
We prepare.
I mean, he didn't...
Just make sure next time
Look at
you do it
futures
that
without him.
That's a hard thing to do in our futures, when we are, like, destined to fight him to death.
To death.
Well,
just make sure next time you look into it, maybe have Lulin nearby.
Yeah.
Or someone nearby. Just anybody.
The last time I interacted with him, he didn't, like, literally try and kill me. He was just
Yeah.
kind of like, what are you doing here? And I was like, didn't know you were gonna be here, honestly. And we kind of...
So you bring up a point. Was he actually there, or was it just a visage?
No, I'm
Was
pretty
he
sure...
consciously there?
Yes.
magic was there.
That he knows what we've seen. He knows what happened during that vision. Things
Yeah.
can change.
He's at least invested in it going a certain way, so...
I
don't
mean, I
think-
think
if
he
you
wants
say-
it to go the way it is going right now. I think that is his ideal.
The way as we know it can change now. If you said somebody shot something from within the forest, instead of one shot, there could be 5.
Or, I mean, the biggest thing was that it wasn't a contentious battle until something hit Brennan, which triggered
Yes.
the Bastions to attack. And then it was just an all-out fight. If we stop Brennan from getting hit or hurt, the Bastions don't get alerted and uncontrollable. That would be my first step.
Tomorrow. Well, now that everybody's... Luna looks over at Lyra. Now that almost everybody is awake. During my discussion with Brave Apple. I fight him tomorrow morning.
Oh!
For... I mean, he's already given me permission, but we both agreed
Okay,
to
good.
do things the old-fashioned way.
I was worried that you tried to shake their hand.
No, this is a good thing. Newson's like doubled over, but like so excited.
In for Minotaurs, whenever we're trying to marry somebody, the groom-to-be fights the father to gain permission.
You gotta prove your worth.
Yes. But he's already given me permission, but we're still going to do the fight anyway. And Luna like holds up like an extra sign that we had. Plus, it's going to be a nice show tomorrow. I think the people need it.
Sounds like a blast.
I think in dire times, people need a show.
Oh,
And damn well me and Brave Album's going to give it to them.
oh, it's gonna be a good one. I can't wait to see that.
Newson, you just hear from over your shoulder, and nobody else hears or sees this. I couldn't agree with that more.
Is it kind of like cough, chuckles, like, oh god.
I mean, if his ale alone can knock people onto their ass, I'd hate to think about what he can do.
Oh
Rock,
yeah,
he's
Brave.
almost doubled my weight.
Yeah.
And that's nearly pure muscle. Disregarding that beer gut of his.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hell of a fight.
He hits like a carriage full of potatoes.
Have you been hit by one of those?
Yeah, you haven't?
No.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, a lot of giants make a lot of food where I was from, so if I got hit by a carriage of those, I don't think I'd survive.
I guess for you it'd be like one potato, like one small potato.
So what
but,
you're saying
I mean-
is these small potatoes?
No. For us, like, you know, the Furbolgs make a lot of the food, we make a lot of the weapons, and we trade them. And you obviously all met Kieran. So I used to spend a lot of time in the
Wonderful
Furbolg
finally putting a
cities.
face to a name.
Yeah. So I used to spend a lot of time there. We used to run around. I may or may not have gotten hit by a couple carts during that time. Don't ask how. But it was fine. It's just, it kind of knocks the wind out of you.
Can I think about? Can I roll a history check to see if Karak remembers if Newson mentioned getting hit by carriages
Yes, you
during
can.
their conversation?
Yes, you can.
Wonderful.
You have a +9?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Elliot's shit is wild. Your stats are insane.
Actually, I'm gonna re-roll that only once.
I'm scared of
Of
what that wisdom save was for.
Should be.
I'm alarmed and concerned.
All right, so a 14 on the history check.
You would remember that Newson never mentioned being hit with a cart full of potatoes.
You never mentioned that. I guess if it happened as often as it did, probably wasn't worth mentioning.
Elliot, do you understand?
Oh, I understand.
Good.
Well, Krog, that's because somebody has skipped training for 2 weeks.
Look, I was running and jumping and going places. I was getting my own form of training, you know? It was bookended with fighting things.
And getting attacked by Noel.
Yeah, but it was a fight.
That came from a Star Leone over your shoulder, by the way.
So I just responded to something that nobody could hear.
Correct.
Lulu looks over at Karak, and you'd think that somebody would learn after the 22nd time of going beyond the city limits and going into the forest where there are gnolls there, that they might eventually learn the lesson of not to fucking go there.
This one has so many questions, darling. Why can he not simply believe in the hero's journey?
You know, that's just how Lulin is. He just never he wanted it was for my best interest. I was just not listening.
I will say, respect for training in regiment.
I did a lot
chasing after bigger and better things, trying to exceed one's skills. That is more or less one of the main tenets of the hunt. So I can't really blame.
Well, here's the
Newson.
thing: as a punishment, as Newson's least favorite thing to do is work on dexterity, and dislikes dodging things. So after dodging,
Like
maybe
peanuts.
like 2, yeah.
No, you didn't hear him
No.
say
Didn't hear
that.
that.
That was a PT comment, not a Star Leon comment. So after dodging, a couple of dozen things, and somebody decided to make some smartass comments, I, not in my greatest decision or in my best of moments, snapped my literal back, picked up that carriage, and then threw it. I was on bed rest for 3 weeks.
And tomorrow he's going to get hit by one himself. Oh, darling, no.
Well, in his defense, I think his back is stronger now, so.
Well,
Well, perhaps you should all go to bed then.
I agree. I am definitely in need of some rest.
I'd say so
It
after
sure
all that.
sounds like you need some rest.
As you all lay down and close your eyes, you drift off to sleep to this subtle sound in the room coming from Elliot's bag of holding. Doo 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 doo. As the music box plays, and that's where we're gonna end our session this week.
Wow,
Well,
I hate
then.
everything about that.
And
I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
release this as episode 99 part 1, and we're gonna do episode 99 part 2 next week. Hopefully with
Okay.
everyone. But thank you to all of our lovely cast. Thank you to Elliot, played by.
I think my name is Isaac.
What was your favorite part?
I think my favorite part was sorry, I'm deciding. I don't know, I like the spookiness of the names.
And then we have
Names.
Farak Areem, played by.
Hello, it's Terminian Link VT, and my favorite part had to be the nice jovial attitude between Brave Apple and Lulin. I really like that dynamic.
And then we have News and World Walker, played by.
It's me, the Sky T. I mean, I always have fun having conversations with Astraleon, but I can't lie and say I'm not excited for the Lulin and Valianti marriage coming our way.
And then last but not least, we have Lulin Boldspeaker, played by.
It me, the apparently now engaged Minotaur man. Well, no, it's already engaged.
Almost
That happened.
World's
Yeah.
most perfect man is
Yeah.
off the market.
In me, Brando.
And as
They're only
always,
available.
As always, everybody, I'm PT. Part 2 of the episode will air on Monday the 18th.
Let's go.
Let's see how many of them can get through the music box. And then after that, our next episode will be on January 1st for episode 100. Woo!
That's gonna be wild and crazy.
And you know-
100 fucking episodes.
I know. You know I'm going to do something wild for it.
Yeah.
We'll see if I
got it.
survive, because I got 50 hit points and we're about to fight something out of the music box.
Oh, you're going to fight a lot more than one thing out of the music box. The war is on. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Dun, 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 dun.